很高兴今天能有这个因缘，跟有灵法师一起在这个气候变迁会议上做发表。与会的代表从他们的表情可以看到，他们经过1个多星期的这个会议，来到我们佛光的发表里面。首先以这个静坐为开始，大家紧绷的这个神情开始都比较轻松下来。接下来大家的问题大部分都是环绕在我们遇到现在的困境，到底古老的智慧像佛教能够给大家一个什么样的方向，什么样的启示？所以我们很高兴能有因缘跟大家谈论大师所提的环保与心保，还有心保和尚所提的共生与共荣。我们跟大家说，佛教是从因缘来看世间的，所以一切都是因为因缘合而生，也因为一切都是因缘，所以我们必须尊重一切。那共生与共荣，这个共荣的部分就牵涉到大家要能够分享资源，才能够一起共荣。那如果我们都能够把心的环保做好，那环境的保护也就水到渠成了。尤其是我们引用佛光人的4信条，我们要先自己有信心，才能给人信心；先自己有希望，才能够给人希望；要心中有欢喜，才能够给欢喜；要时时有智慧，才知道什么时候给方便。今天我们这个发表结束了。那在这结束之后，访问了好些代表，他们都觉得通过今天的一个讨论、静坐，尤其是事物上的祈愿文，都给了大家非常大的动力，让大家能够在挫折、挑战之中，依然能够从智慧、从慈悲出发，为全人类谋求一个更好的未来，为气候变迁这个挑战，大家能够一起齐心合力来去克服。谢谢江南的这一员。
From us, who is the manager from VIKALP, and they will be talking about how they utilize indigenous knowledge for climate resilience. So I learned that some of you came because of the word of Buddhism and indigenous knowledge. So we'd like to start our presentation today with a little twist. We started with a meditation led by Venerable Yolin.
Auspicious greeting to everyone. Happy to see you. And may I have my PPT? So before we start the presentation, I would like to invite everyone to have a very special calm moment with me. And you may now sit with your feet down and hands cover up with your knee. And then if you like to remove your spectacle, that's fine too. Okay, can I have the slide 3, please? Okay, slowly close our eyes. Welcome to the calm moment. We now may observe our breathing. Breathing in, breathing out. As we breathe in, we welcome the compassionate equality into our body. Breathing in, breathing out. As we exhale, bring out the anxiety, stressfulness. exit from our body. Breathing in, breathing out. Observe our breathing as we relax from our forehead, our eyebrows, relax from our eyes, relax from our nose, relax from our ears, relax from our mouth, from our chin, relax from our neck, shoulders, arms, palms, fingers, to our nails, relax from back down to our spinal cord, our legs, knees, feet, relax from ourselves, from our inner organs, relax from our head, brain, and the whole body. As we're breathing in with the positive energy into our body. Slowly, we open our eyes. With our palms ready, grab it. And we massage our arms to our head, here our neck, and up. Massage your shoulders. Thank you for joining me for a very special moment for spiritual preservative. And I would like to pass the mic now to Kwang, one of our Dharma lecture from Buddha's Light International Association.
Thank you very much, Venerable Yulin. What a way to start the session. We believe that there's a lot of information on the internet that you can get to learn about things, and hence, even though we only have little time, we thought it is actually more important to put some practice into action and to share the moment with you. It's my first time at COP. Everyone is so busy. They're just dashing from one place to the next place. And sometimes they can't even be kind to each other when they think that the other person is blocking their way. How are we going to have an outcome with this atmosphere? That was my first question when I came. They said, they all need to meditate more. So we're really grateful that we have this opportunity. So I'm going to do something, again, a little bit unusual, because we have about 27 minutes left for our session. In Buddha's time, most of the sutra, when Buddha talked about certain things, it's all because a question needs to be answered. So I would like to start my presentation, even though I have got 36 slides, and this is definitely not one of the slides. So there's about being, not still at the, please move back to the first page. Yeah, not going anywhere yet. Back to the very beginning. Yes. So what I'm trying to say is that even though it's not on the slide, I like to ask you questions about what is the burning question that you have about this session that you'd like to know, and I'll be more than happy to incorporate that into my presentation. So anyone that you have in mind of any question that you'd like to be answered, because I probably will not meet you again for the rest of my life. Well, I'm planning to be at Brazil next year, but hey, who knows what's going to happen. So this is your one and only time, and we're left with another 26 minutes. Do you have any question in mind that you'd like an answer? And I'll try to incorporate that into my presentation. I'm a lay Dharma teacher for Buddha Light International Association, so it's actually my thing, giving presentation and talking. So I'm totally not afraid, like whatever question that you have. So any questions? Yes. How can we bring resilience in our day-to-day work? Thank you very much.
Hi, hello, thank you, and thank you for giving me this platform. I'm from India. I believe in all the Buddha's logical sayings and everything. Would like to understand that how resilience can help or can be brought in our day-to-day operations.
I will answer that, and because of your bravery, you get a little bookmark from our organization. Thank you very much for that.
Thank you so much.
You're most welcome. Thank you. Yes.
Hello, thank
Hello.
you so much for this time.
You're most welcome.
I'm a student.
Yes.
And I'm doing research on mindful diplomacy.
Yes.
So I would like to know, from your perspective, how can we make diplomacy more compassionate?
That's why you need to do a PhD on it. Thank you very much. Yes. I can give you the gift before you get the mic. It is about trust. That means you're going to get a gift regardless what you say.
Thank you very much. I am a government official in Nepal, in place of the birthplace of Buddha.
Yes.
In Buddhist scriptures, there are lots of very venerative words, very praiseworthy words regarding Himalayas.
Yes.
And in recent days, there are lots of, glacial evidences and the accidents in Nepal.
Yes.
It is called glacial lake outburst flood.
Yes. Yes.
Something like that. And many people living in the Himalayas and the catchment areas are highly affected with such kind of environmental impact.
Yes.
Is there any kind of, Buddhist teaching, something that we can adopt so that we can reduce the mitigation cost of dhyana?
Yes. Of their challenges. Thank you very much. So I've got one more boxes. Any other last? Oh, that's 2 and 3. So we have to keep it short. I actually have more. Yep. Oh, yes. Yes. Just very briefly, your question.
Yes, hi everyone, I'm from Singapore.
Yes.
These are many races and villages.
Yes.
I just understand how faith and climate change can intersect.
Yes. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yes. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And then you can hold on to the mic.
In what ways are you and can all of us bring an expanded sense of consciousness to the negotiation?
Thank you very much. Yes. Thank you. Yes.
Thank you for the platform and allowing us to ask some questions. As we're here at an event organized by the United Nations, how can we use ancient traditions to bridge the gap between modern society? Because that's often forgotten.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for that. I'll give it back to you. So hopefully, as an educator, I've actually answered some of your questions. What did I do? I have 36 slides. Was I worried and eager or immediately wanted to do something with my presentation? I am, but it's actually more important for me to listen what you want. So deep listening, listening with empathy, listening with compassion, listening with understanding, that is a very crucial thing because we cannot make progress unless we understand each other. I'm given this time to do a presentation, but I really want to know what you want instead of what I already decided that you need. So that is a very important first step. And there were some really important questions like mindful diplomacy. How can we bring more peace into negotiation? How do we give people resilience? Those are all really important and not easy to address questions. My heart is actually heavy when I walk around in the venue, sometimes listening to what's happening, seeing what's happening. And in fact, I have a conversation this morning with another delegate. I say, how can we find strength? How can we find strength in such pressure and in such an environment? Well, we are people of faith. We choose to believe. We think that hope is a very important thing, and we held on to that. And what else can we do? We come to a session like this. I use a metaphor of antennas and coverage. So for you to have good coverage to access internet, you have to have all these transmission stations close enough for each other, far enough to cover more area. This is how you do it. Through this event, we receive motivation from each other. We go back to where we come from and we spread the impact, and hopefully our antenna will cross over at each other to increase the coverage. Okay, so now, my presentation. I think I handed back, I have the control over that. So we're left with 19 minutes. I will be jumping around the slides. Hopefully I'll stop at things that we could answer you. So, Buddha Light International Association. I was talking to the Secretary General today when I was preparing the presentation. I said, I feel so proud to be a member of BLIA. So BLIA is founded by our late master Xing Yun, and he would be the figure at the middle of that. And what do? We try to eradicate hunger. These are the things that you can actually find on the internet, what we do, so I'll be quick about that. We promote good health and well-being in all aspects. We have basketball tournaments, we have Buddha-like scouts, we have Buddha-like youth, working in all areas to promote health, self-care and well-being. It's not moving. Okay, so we also try when possible, well, because we have about 300 temples all around the world, and we have 3 million members. So we pretty much respond to whatever the occasion is. Like there is this hospital we set up as the Los Angeles Paraguay China Foundation, and we have given access to 700,000 people for their healthcare. And Community Health Center in India and Nepal. And of course, whenever it's needed, we will be there. I remember when 9/11 happened, our master went to the place where the attack happened, and he was asked to give blessing. And the master did the ceremony and started talking. And he said, dear compassionate Buddha, dear compassionate God. He said it in Mandarin, and the interpreter was like, what? Like, I thought, you are Buddhist, what's that to do with God? And the master said, we have to bring calmness to everyone. We have to ease suffering of all beings. So he even said that it doesn't mind if you have two religions. It's only a problem if you don't have a faith. So if you have more than one faith, he's all okay with that. So the same, we were actually one of the earliest Buddhist organizations who brought relief to Afghanistan. After the American troop pulled out, we brought resources there. So pretty much, and then environment protection is one of the key things that we do, that I'll be talking about. So we have the privilege to join the United Nations in 2003. And this is actually the second time we came to COP. So we're actually really eager and excited to contribute more into the future because we believe in all the sustainable goals and the importance of that. So in 2010, the Venerable Master gave a keynote speech. And his keynote speech to all of us back then is environmental and spiritual preservation. And I will not go into the deep detail of that because of the limitation of time. However, when you look at what he was trying to say, I'll stay on that page, what he's trying to say for environmental and spiritual preservation, what he meant was that in order for us to preserve the environment, we have to start from our mind. Because our world is a picture, a projection of our internal world. So if we're not able to purify our mind, then we can't start by purifying the world. So it's actually important for every individual to go back into your mind and be present to what is actually going on. So in Buddha-like International Association, or Fo Guangshan, we have a very centered, right at the center things that we do is the 4 givings. So what do we give? We give confidence. And I always say, in order for you to give confidence, you first have to have confidence. And what is the second thing that you give? You give hope. And in order for you to give hope, you yourself first have to feel hope. And what else you give? You give joy. You share happiness with people. And of course, again, you have to be able to find joy within yourself. And then what is the last thing that you give? You give people convenience. You give people the opportunity to do what they need to do. For instance, the talk previously ended pretty late. But when I look at all our participants, we were all actually quite at ease because we know that things happen, it's impermanence, there's no point being upset, so we just give them convenience if they need a little bit more time. So this forgiving sounds like something very simple, It's actually lifelong practice. Do we have confidence in ourselves? If not, how can I build that? Do we have hope in ourselves? If not, how can we harness that? Do we have joy in our heart? Where can you look to find joy? Do you have that mindful moment to be able to allow convenience to happen? And like I say, in COP, everyone is dashing from one place to the other, and then everyone is just thinking their aim or what they want to achieve. And if we have a little bit more mindful time internally, we probably will be able to have better outcomes. So, and hence, the preservation of spirituality, the reservation of spirituality is the key for the reservation of environment. And then last year, in our main conference, now that it's the head of our order, Venerable Shinbao, also gave another keynote speech. The keynote speech is coexistence and co-prosperity. So after 15 years, we've now moved, we continue to do environmental preservation and spiritual reservation. We're moving towards continuous thinking. How can we coexist together? How can we achieve co-prosperity? We have to redefine what prosperity means, because that is actually part of the reason how we ended up here in the first place. Because people are not willing to give up what they have. They're not willing to change the lifestyle they are used to. They're not willing to step back and look at the bigger picture. The bigger picture of the reality that we coexist together. That is a core belief of Buddhism. Buddhism talks about codependency, interconnectedness. Buddhism says that things arise because all the factors came together. Today, this presentation came not out of the blue, not just because Reverend Yulin put a application in that many months ago. It's actually the coming together of all factors. And you can't even miss one for it to happen. And when you really adopt that way of life, your life will change. Because suddenly, me, I, and my became so much smaller. And us, and we, and ours become so much bigger. Because we realize that as an individual, we cannot exist by ourselves. As a nation, as a group of people, as a group of faith believers, we cannot exist by ourselves. I can't be here today if the bus is not operating. I'm not able to have this venue if whoever that's working at the electric company is providing the electricity for us to be able to sit in this comfortable environment to host this conversation. Everything coexists. I am just a small part of this whole bigger picture. And now we are in trouble. So we need to really figure out how can we co-prosper together? How can we coexist together? So what does BLIA do? What does Fo Guangshan do? So now this is more of like what we do. So we have a range of activities. We can, I got another 10 more minutes. So I probably spend 5 minutes in running through all the things that we say. Yes, this is a good PowerPoint to take a picture of so that you can look up on the internet later what we do. So Tea Earth is our forest initiative that we actually go into the forest and we look at how can we increase the biodiversity, and we look at what kind of trees there that we can grow and we can turn that into tea. So that is actually this whole project where eventually when we can generate enough tea, it's actually going to be self-sustainable, and this is going to create more than 100 jobs for the locals, for the indigenous people in that. So this is one of our projects. Veggie Plan A. I would like you to sign up for Veggie Plan A. So what is that? What does that mean? Is that this is to encourage people to be vegan. Because Buddhism, one of the 5 precepts of Buddhism, the first one is no killing. So we don't say that all Buddhists have to be vegan. However, we encourage them to be. So our Veggie Plan A, we now have more than 500,000 participating around the world, committing that there will be vegans, and you do not have to be full-time. You can be part-time, that is fine. We have a Veggie 100 plan that will be suitable for you, which means you only need to be vegetarian 2 days a week or 1 meal each day. The easiest to do it is to have vegetarian breakfast. You don't need to have your bacon and sausage. Yes, it's difficult, but for the love of the planet. Okay, so that's Veggie Plan. And so we actually encourage vegetarian fine dining. So we're trying to achieve a sort of a Michelin star system to encourage people where to go to for good vegetarian food. And we're now on track, hoping that we even in the future, we're going to deliver awards to award people who actually focus on developing good vegetarian food. So Veggie Run, that is quite amazing. So this is a running, not a competition, but an event where people come together and run. And what they do is they actually ask for their sponsor and say, okay, I will run if you sponsor tree plantings. I will run if you sponsor food donation. So it depends on which country we're doing. It depends on what's the need of the local country. Then the Veggie Run will be geared towards whatever that's needed. So I'll move past all these other parts of engaging in community and campus, but the 3 Act of Goodness is the other one I want to mention. We actually have a movie award, and we will receive up to 2,000 3-minute movies, and it's all about what are the positive information that you can generate from them. And environment protection is one of the themes for the movie award. So this is about Tea Earth. So these are the places we've planted the trees. So we go in there, we look, first of all, we have to talk to the local people and understand what their needs are. If there's local seedlings, we cultivate it and we go back to the site. And you can see that we prepare the site, and the SDG, those are the SDG that's being covered. And by just engaging the process, 18 people will get employed, and then 42. When it's able to produce a sustainable tea leaves sort of like enterprise that it will support more than 100 people's work. This is a beautiful picture with a story behind that. This is during COVID. When we're doing this during COVID, no one wants to come out. They don't want to go and plant trees. So the monastic from Po Wang San said, you know what, we'll do it. So this is a picture with all our monastic gathering together to plant trees, and it's about biodiversity. So it's not just planting one species of tree, it's understanding what the environment needs and do what is actually best for the environment. So our aim is within 10 years, it will save 145,000 tons of carbon dioxide release. So throughout this period of 1 year, we planted more than 60,000 trees around the world. So as I said, we have nearly 300 temples, and we have hundreds of branches and 3 million members there. So this is a Veggie Plan that I mentioned just now. 500,000 people participated, so we saved that number of trees, we reduced carbon dioxide emission, water consumption, and reduced food waste just through people committing to be vegetarian 1 meal a day or 2 days a week, or if they want to do lifelong, more than welcome. So this is the lovely Veggie Run, and this is from where I came from, Malaysia. That's the Malaysia flag. You can see how many people is running for the environment. And so at the moment, these are the numbers that's accumulated. You can see that we've got over 7,000 people ran at North America, 56,000 people ran in Asia, 3,000 from Africa, nearly 4,000 from Oceania, which is also where I'm from, because I live in Brisbane. So this is a lovely picture from New Zealand with the New Zealand Airbus, and this particular run, they're running for tree plantings. So we involve young people to run for us so that they have the idea of this is what they want to do, and they know that by running, they're actually contributing to more trees growing in their community. So this one is about the Michelin stars, Veg 100, the target, more vegetarian promotion. So at the end of the day, what I'm trying to say is under the Venerable Master's guidance and the initiatives done in BLIA and Foguangshan, we can see that all the things that we do actually blends into all the SDG that's there. So, where do we go from here? We go from here by ending my presentation with a prayer written by our Venerable Master Xing Yun. It's going to be led by Reverend Yulin. Hopefully my presentation has answered some of your questions. The reason why ancient wisdom works is because it's been around for a very long time. I'm from Australia. Our indigenous people has been on the land for 60,000 years. And Australia is actually quite amazing before recent changes. 60,000 compared to 4,000. So 60,000 years, they worked out really what to do. 4,000 years, here is where we are now. So there's definitely a lot we can learn from indigenous wisdom. So now I would like to pass the time to Reverend Yulin.
Okay, please ask the technician crew to help me to change the...
Change the PowerPoint back to Reverend
First,
Yulin's
yeah.
PowerPoint, please.
And I would like to ask everyone to read together with me.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. A prayer for our natural environments by the founder of Foguangshan, Venerable Master Xing. O great compassionate Buddha, I would like to tell you on an unjust situation. On our mind, the world that we live in has been ruined and has fallen ill. In nature, the mother of this great earth, flowers are no longer emitting fragrance. Birds are no longer singing. The green mountains are no longer smiling. The flowing water is no longer crystal clear.
Yeah, but that's fine.
Our natural resources have been decreasing sharply day by day. How will future generations survive? The air that we breathe is not clean. Our health has been threatened. O great compassionate Buddha, we have 5 sense organs: eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and body. We have 5 poisons: greed, anger, ignorance, arrogance, and doubt. We are on the verge of destroying our beautiful earth and disintegrating the ecological relations of nature. Too many deities of land and sea have gone missing under humankind's guard and knife. Too many rare birds and animals have disappeared into humankind's meals and mouth. O great compassionate Buddha, please let us and our future generations be able to play with fireflies under the radiance of star-brimmed skies, be able to sing and dance with great nature on the soul of an emerald sea, be able to enjoy fresh air in the thick forests of towering trees, and be able to grow together with all things under the sun on a field that extends out far beyond the horizon. This is not just for the natural environment, but also for the hometowns for humankind. This is not just for the Earth's existence, but also for our future generations. Please grant us tender hands to soothe all sentient beings on earth. Please grant us ears that listen attentively to the wondrous sounds of the world and nature phenomena. Please grant us bright and kind eyes to discover the limitless treasures of the universe. Please grant us compassionate heart to preserve the ecology of our earth. O great compassionate Buddha, we can no longer allow mountains and rivers to be tainted. We can no longer allow the earth to weep. We can no longer allow living things to be frightened. We can no longer allow the air to be polluted. We must strive to let mountains and rivers be splendorous and green again. We must strive to let the beauty of the earth reappear. We must strive to restore fragrance, fresh air. We must strive to let nature become a solemn, pure land again. O great compassionate Buddha, please accept our heartfelt prayer. O great compassionate Buddha, please accept our heartfelt prayer. Thank you everyone for this very special moment. And I hope that you really feel that environmental and spiritual consideration is very important for us to practice, for us to save our earth. Thank you.
And without any delay, we'd like to hand the stage now to Himanshu.
If you want to take a question for 5 minutes, you can take right now and then.
Himanshu has been very kind and say if anyone have any questions after our presentation. There's only two ways to interpret that you totally understood what we said or you're totally enlightened now. So if you have any other question, feel free to look us up on the internet. But we thank you for your time, and now we'll hand it over to our lovely partner, Himanshu. Can we have a round of applause to welcome him?
Thank you, BLIA. In this session, we will try to explain you how this indigenous and ancient knowledge we are incorporating in our grassroots level work with the indigenous community. But before I start, I want to invite some of the other panelists on the days. So I like to invite Mr. Mahesh Pandya, Priyanka, Pahal and Bharti. We all are from the India and we are working in a different field for the environment and climate change.